Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angel. Yesterday I was having, no, actually this whole week I had just been having a battle in my mind, you know, just all the things that I believed for so long, you know, they all started coming out, and just knowing that what I'm doing is for God, and he would not put anything in my life that I can't handle. He sends a word, right? A freaking word for me and what I'm going through right now. It is When You Don't Know What to Do by Pastor Tory Roberts. He made this 7 years ago, right? 7 years ago, God made a message for me for this moment in my life. How beautiful. Okay, so it's just been like a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of sadness, a lot of me feeling alone. And when this thing first started with God, he isolated me. Like, I didn't work, I didn't do anything but go to the store and come home and do what I have to do. So that's when I truly needed him. But this version of me, like, I still need him just as much as I did back then, but it's easy for me to look at it as if I don't need the Lord the same way I did when I needed him, when I called out for him and when he came for me. So I have to refortify my mind and get myself in a position to actually handle everything he's doing for me, because it's bigger than me. Every morning I wake up and I look in the mirror, I'm not looking at me. I feel like I'm looking at a completely different version of me every morning. Every time I go to sleep, I wake up, he does something for me in my sleep that makes me, I feel different. Like I'm just looking at myself and analyzing who I was and who I am, and I have really changed. Like, the same stuff that used to bother me doesn't bother me no more. When I don't stay in friend groups that are trauma bonds or anything like that, like, I cannot just be around anybody. And I'm realizing that, like, people are in my life for a season, but right now God wants me to be isolated, you know, so I could really get the fullness of what he's trying to do in my life. Like, it's so crazy how this is all working out and how I'm like putting the pieces together. Like, I'm supposed to be doing something with God right now that requires only me and God and my kids, you know? Like, anybody else is just a distraction for what I'm trying to do, because I'm so tempted by the world. Like, yesterday I was on Facebook and I was strolling like a motherfucking stroller, and there was this dude on there, right? I'm gonna tell you guys his freaking name. It's a good video. On TikTok, it's Big Sexy Official 0. Go follow his TikTok, he's dope. But like, he was just talking about like how the world is and how we want what the world has, but in actuality nobody really knows what nobody's going through. So we want what the next person has, but the next person might be pretending like they got it and they really don't. Okay, like that. They ain't living like that. They really ain't got it like that a lot of times. He's dope, bro. I said it's Big Sexy Official 0. So I was listening to him yesterday. Like, that's why I know God put people and makes people say certain things for certain people to hear. And if you're not listening with your God ears, you'll miss the message. And I was just so lucky to just hear the message, because I so happened to work at Burger King, and he said, like, you feel like your Burger King job ain't enough and blah blah blah. Like, he was going in. Like, I freaking loved it. It just spoke to me. It just did something to me. And it was just, it wasn't for that version of me yesterday, it was for this version of me today. Like, I'm doing everything in my power to keep myself with him, you know? Like, it's so easy to just be on social media and get distracted by what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to be. Like, I feel like I could use this gift God gave me and I could make my name great, but then my name would be great and I'm not the one that did this. Like, it's so easy for me to just believe that he put all these things inside of me, he's doing all these things inside of me, and it's not enough compared to what the world keeps showing me. But it is enough, because what I feel I can't shake, it's the feelings for me. Like, walking with God is just this feeling that I'm feeling that I can't shake. It's just this loyalty. Like, he called me here, he built me up, made me this woman, making me this woman that can go into places where church people won't go. Like, I will go in the strip clubs, I will go in the hood, like, I will go get some real niggas and tell them what the Lord did for me, and I promise you they'll believe me, just simply because I'm loyal. Like, it's just something about me that will make certain people believe like I'm truly called to the world. But it's only certain things and certain people, I mean certain, like, you know, groups of people that I'm connected to, like the strip club, because I was so closely, like the club was my third child. Like, that was my baby. But like the streets and just being around like hood niggas, like I've always been around that since the time I was a teenager. Like, I ran away from home. Like, I went and I found a bunch of hood niggas that all they knew what they had was each other. So like their loyalty is deep, because when you believe that all you have is the people around you, like that you built a type of loyalty that can't be broken. So these niggas was just all each other had. And you know, when I'm just a little girl, you know, like that wanted that from like the people in my family, when I didn't get that, it was so easy for me to grasp onto these men that society portrayed them to be a gang. But I know that they were a family, because like they didn't eat, they wouldn't eat and be sitting there eating and not feed their homies. Like, it's just a certain type of things about them and traits about them that I admired, and I was so drawn to these people as a child. Like, and I learned from them. Like, I learned all these qualities and traits about like just being real, like just being me. I didn't realize that everything God was teaching me in my life from the time I was a child to now has all been for me to become. And I cannot choose the world. When I choose the world, then I lose control of everything that he put in me. Like my mind. He gave me my mind. My heart. He gave me my heart, my ears, my eyes. Like, the world can consume you and make you believe everything you see. But if you're only seeing with the eyes that the world made you have, like, you know, like the stuff we've seen, like this, like it's just like this is how it's supposed to be. In actuality, it's freaking not. If 6-year-old kids are supposed to be killing teachers, if that's a thing, like I don't like that's not a thing. Like, these people that God is drawing me to, like there was this trans woman yesterday, like I fucking love her. I do, just because she reminds me of me, right? Like, she transitioned from one thing to another, just like me. So like we were just talking and vibing, like, you know, before I got off work, and we were just talking about, you know, like I just was telling her, like, do you believe that God sent you here to specifically help trans women, you know, deal with, you know, what they're gonna face in this life? And she kind of had this thought in her mind for a second, was like, yeah, I did kind of, like, I always felt like that. Like, her testimony, like I haven't even heard it yet, but I know it's beautiful and it could change the world. It wouldn't change the people that I'm trying to do, but she has her own people that she's connected to help. And I like that I was able to relate to her. I can feel that, you know, like the insecurities and the fact that she doesn't love herself. I asked, like, do you love yourself? And she said no. But like I told her, like, me neither. Like, it's so hard to love yourself after so much bad stuff happens to you, you know? It's just like, that's just life though. Life will have you believe in that meeting God is simple. Like, it's just an ordinary encounter with a human. It's not. It's magical. It's big. And everybody right now in my life that I'm connected to, I'm realizing that they have a bigger purpose in life than they could even realize. And in doing this and becoming the woman that I'm supposed to be, I'm getting strong enough, like, to do this. But it's requiring a different version of me, a version of me that's okay with being alone, a version of me that's okay with being scared, a version of me that's okay with not having it all together. Because when I did have all those things, or I pretended like I had all those things, I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable, and I was always looking to appease the world, make the world like me, when actuality the world don't even like itself. Like, the world is such a dark angry place. And it has to change. It has to change for our kids. So like, they don't have to feel all these things that we feel. Like, how is it that we can tell them about Santa but not about God? Like, it's so crazy to me that the stuff that people believe. I wasn't even paying attention for so many years. I've been in my little Alice hole, just living life there, oblivious to other people going on around me. Like, I used to drive past homeless women, like it was homeless women and their child, then there with a sign like, suck a dick, save a life. You know, like, if you suck a dick, you don't have to be in the street with your baby. Like, that's your fault. But in actuality, I had to be in the shelter. Like, I had to lose everything. And I could have asked my sister, you know, can I stay with you? But I didn't. I chose to just not take anything from anybody that they weren't capable of giving me. And in that time, she wasn't capable of giving me any space, like giving me her space, like coming in her home with my energy and what I'm, you know, like my sister couldn't handle it at the time. So I made a decision, you know, and it's just been decision after decision after decision, just to getting me to open my eyes to all the stuff that I missed while my eyes were closed. And yeah, it's people for me. It's people I don't know for me. Like, it's so crazy that everybody around me, like, they're doing stuff, they're saying certain stuff to maybe help and guide me to this path. But what God is doing is big. Like, he's sending messages directly for me that were made 7 years ago. Like, how is that even possible? Because this thing that he's doing inside of me, he's been doing it inside of me. I had to go through all that hell. So I realized that what I'm living now is not hell. Like, this is life. I'm living life. Wow. I'm in my wild season, y'all. And I thank you, Pastor Torre, for sending that beautiful message for me. Thank you for just coming into your calling. Like, I just love how from 7 years ago, like, I never watched anything of yours from that old, but from 7 years ago, you're still the same. Like, you still hype. You still got that same energy about the Lord and what you're trying to do for his people. And I think that's beautiful. Your message is beautiful. And you saved my life. Your family, your wife saved my life. She connected me to you. Like, how beautiful is this? Like, she connected me to her father. Like, it's beautiful. This thing that's inside of me is for me. It's for me and only me, and I'm accepting it and I'm becoming, and I'm just knowing that I need to be alone. I do. So I could truly believe that it was him. Like, I know it was him. I do without a doubt in my mind. Like, I know what happened to me was the Lord's grace on my life. But right now in my life, he just wants me to believe in him in a way that I've never believed in any human being. Trust in him in a way that I've never trusted any human being. And I'm okay with doing that for God. Like, his street cred. His street cred is like, yeah. Like, I'm going off what they say. I like it. It's loyalty. Like, I want to be around loyal people, and God is the loyalest person. Like, he's the first. I think that they made loyal talking about God. Like, when you say loyal, humans aren't really loyal. The only person that's loyal is God. The only person that you could do all these bad things, say all these bad things, not pray, be sinful, be a murderer. And if you go to him with the most sincerest heart, knowing that this is the life I want, that's not the life I want. Like, it has to be a choice. You cannot just you can't just pray and not, you know, sacrifice things that are important to you. It's just about, it's a lot of everything. And I'm seeing it now. And we're going to end this video with a moment of silence, because God is doing great things in my life, and I'm just going to keep just drawing strength from him right now, because he's building me up. So of course he created himself. Like, it's all for me. So I'm just drawing strength from him. A moment of silence, because I need it. And we're starting now. Bye guys, until my next video.